Team Global, what's going on? It's Dre, and welcome back to another episode of Global Conversation. Now, since this is the very first Global Conversation, we don't really know how we're gonna go about this thing and have everything structured out, so we're just gonna go as we go. We just gonna learn as we go, and we're gonna just go forward. And that's my best advice to you in life and doing anything that requires action from you. My best advice to you is just go and learn through the process. Don't spend time thinking. Obviously, yes, come up with a strategy, think something clearly through, but by any means necessary. You do not have to sit there and figure out every single detail before you move. That's gonna put you in a place that's complacent. That's gonna put you at zero. You're not doing anything. At least if you're taking action and you're making things happen, at least your beta is a lot higher. At least you're taking action. Some action is better than no action. So don't just sit around brainstorming all the time. I feel victim to this. Personally, I like to be someone who is constantly prepared, constantly on their stuff. So I want to know every nook and cranny before I go into something, before I do anything, before I invest any of my time into something. The time that I spend brainstorming is actually keeping me at a zero. And I'm not active. I'm not making progress at all. I'm not even moving. I'm stagnant. So it is great to just go. Point to this intro is just fucking go. All right, so how we're gonna do this is somewhere on the screen you're gonna see the questions pop up, and these are questions from Team Global, my people, my support base, my fan base, and everybody that's been there from the start, from my reaction videos all the way now to this business channel. These are questions, and now if this is your first video watching this, you can join in, ask questions for sure. I am here to help. I don't know everything, but I know some, and I have knowledge that some people don't have, and I'm willing to share that so that we can all start making some of this passive income, and I can help you grow your life, grow your income, grow your pockets, and just get better, just flourish in life, feel good, be good, just be able to live a little bit. Don't that sound good? Whatever, come on, we about to get straight into this now. First question we got from Sassy Shay. Now, Sassy Shay said, how do you go about making your t-shirts? Okay, I will say there's probably somewhere around like a 5-step process. First thing you want to do, you don't have to start a company name, you don't have to get an LLC or nothing like that, simply because you don't really know who your market is, what you're selling, what you're going to be selling. So most of the time you don't have to go and legitimize your business before you start selling t-shirts. That's the cool thing. Second thing is you should look for a wholesaler. Either get the wholesaling license yourself or find someone with a wholesale license that is willing to get the t-shirts for you. You can ask around. I happen to know a few people, a few friends of mine that have their own clothing line and things of that nature. So if you have that, just make sure you go ahead and use your network, or simply go on Google, type in resellers permit and apply for a resellers permit. I actually think it's free, if I'm not mistaken. At least when I did it in Michigan, it was free. Just go online, just Google it. If you need a resellers permit, go online, it'll give you a resellers permit, an EIN number and things of that nature. You use that to buy your shirts wholesale so that you can mark it up and make a profit. Secondly, after you bought the wholesale t-shirts, you need to come up with a design. So you either need to draw the design out yourself to come up with a general idea, or just hire a graphic designer and they'll do all of that stuff for you. Of course, you will have to pay them. So if you don't want to pay them, just learn how to draw and learn how to use Photoshop yourself and come up with your own design. And that's the best way and the cheapest way to save money, if you just do it yourself. But if you need to, you can go ahead and go out there, get you a graphic designer. It'll help you and probably save you some time a little bit too. Lastly, you need someone to print. So you need someone to bring it all, everything together, right? That's easy. There's a lot of printing shops. If you can find maybe a upcoming printing shop that's up and coming and they're trying to get things out, you know, maybe you can work with them, especially if you have a platform, or if you have, you know, something that's going on, or a network of people that you can reach out to. Work with them, come up with a plan and let them know, like, hey, I see what you're trying to do, this is what I'm trying to do, can we come together and try to figure out a way to make this happen together, collectively. Together, I don't know how many steps I just gave you. I think it was like 4, like I said, 4 or 5, but use all of those. It'll be pretty easy. You make some money. And definitely, if you're thinking about doing t-shirts, you should think about starting a social media and starting a brand. Branding and clothing is important. It's very important. Just like, you know, Nike because of the swoosh, you know, Under Armour because of the X, you know, McDonald's because of the M. Branding is super important. So if you're thinking about starting a t-shirt line, think about starting a branding line too. Our second question, we got Kylie Lana McHale. Thank you for, first of all, thank you for sending in the question, Kylie. I really do appreciate it. And your question is, how do you get a job? First off, I wanna challenge you with this, and I wanna ask you, why are you getting a job? And is there some type of service you can provide to people to where you don't have to work that job? Because if the incomes even out, you then can have a decision. Do I want to just give this service on my own time, or do I want to go work certain hours, a 9 to 5 usually? We live in a generation to where you can start making money online and you can build a brand. But let's say that's not you and you need to go in and get a job, a 9 to 5. I'll give you advice for that. The best way to do that is you got to understand that when you go into an interview, it's a negotiation. First of all, getting an interview. How do you go about getting an interview? Getting an interview is similar to getting new leads in business. You have to go out and get as many yeses as possible. You don't want to really be nitpicky. You want to be in a field that you prefer and that you're comfortable in. And yes, you want to handpick the jobs and you want to select the job, but in no means do you want to put all your effort into just one job and filling out just one application. Every day you want to get up and start beaming applications out to as many people as you possibly can. That's a job that's interesting to you. Don't do anything that's not interesting to you. If you don't like it, if it makes you unhappy, if you can't see yourself doing that for the rest of your life, don't get into it, because what that's gonna do is gonna make you so unhappy, and it's gonna create so much of a fog around your weeks and your days. So just try to prevent yourself from doing that in general. But you want to blast out applications. You got to think about it. A lot of people are gonna say no. A lot. 80% is gonna say no. 20% is gonna say yeah. What you want to do is you want to move that 80% and you want to focus on that 20%. You want to squeeze that 20%, because that 20% is going to be where your job comes from. So now you get an interview, right? You go in there. First thing first is it's a negotiation. You're selling yourself, you're selling what you do, and you're selling your capabilities. So when you go in there, first thing first is your appearance. You want to dress bright. You want to have bright colors, because psychologically in the brain, when people see brighter colors, they associate nicer things with you. If they see a darker colors, they associate negative things with you. You want to wear bright colors so people can associate positive things to you and what you're saying and what you're doing. That's first step. Second step is the sense. Well, actually, this should go into the first step also. But you want to smell good. You just want to smell good. You want to have a fragrance on that someone stops you and say, I like how that smells. What is that? Or you smell good today. You want to smell like that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Putting enough on to where people smell. You want to smell good. And one thing, scent stays in the mind the longest out of all the senses. So your sense of smell stays in your memory longer than all the rest of your senses. So that's why you want to smell good, because that'd be something that'd be a positive memory that they associate with you later on when they're thinking back. Lastly, well, not lastly, second from last, you want to bring your resume. Bring a copy of your, matter of fact, bring a few copies of your resume, just in case there's multiple people in the interview. You want to be prepared, and even if sometimes they might not have your resume there, and they might be slipping up and they might have forgot to print your resume out, or anything, their secretary forgot to print it out and forgot to bring it. Now they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to do is you got to bring that to them. Show them that you're prepared. Show them you know why you're there. Show them that you're proud of giving them your resume. And lastly is confidence. Having confidence in yourself and what you do and your delivery. Do all of that, you're gonna increase your chances, but you definitely increase your chances of getting the job for sure, 100%. How do you get people to want to do videos with you after you hit 1,000 on YouTube? The way I would answer that question is you want to add value. You want to create a strategy to where they find you. You put yourself in front of the people that you want to notice you. You don't want to reach out to the people that you want to notice you. You just want to put yourself in a position to where you know they notice you, and then give them the option of reaching out to you or not. One thing you got to do if you're definitely starting a YouTube channel is you got to understand you're a brand.